Hi, this is a video I wanted to make. It's going to go with my blog as well. Just a video about different types of beauty standards and how beauty standards differ from in different parts of the world. As you guys know, I've been living in China for about over 2 years, and definitely my beauty standard doesn't fit Chinese beauty standards. And I've been actually doing it's hurtful sometimes, but I've actually been doing a bit of a social experiment because I just that's the psychology major in me. I have to make everything a social experiment. So I did make everything a social experiment, and I'm finding a lot of things about people that I don't like, and people are very superficial, and that's even more so, I would say, in Asian countries. People are really more superficial than they are back in the US. Okay, so number one of my social experiment, when I first came to China, when I came to Nanchang, I have another video up here that I'll post again. And it was just how people reacted to me in China. I was a lot heavier. I still have to lose like 40 something pounds. 50 pounds for them, but 40 pounds in reality world. um, so I'm on my way to do that. But when I was heavier and when I came to China with my natural hair, I was treated terribly. Like terribly, terribly, terribly because I was fat. I was treated terribly. With my short hair, I was treated terribly. I was called, oh, she looks like a man. Are you a man? Are you a man? Things like that. In Nanchang, I told you about the woman that saw me that looked up and she went, okay. So I lost a little bit of weight. I noticed, oh my gosh, people were treating me a lot nicer. I still had the natural hair, so they were just a little bit weird with the hair because it's something that they are not used to. Then but they were a little bit more flattering, like, oh, Amber, you're losing weight. Wow, you look so great. Then I had the braids in my hair, and I will put all three pictures of each progression. And they're like, oh, that's really trendy. These are the Chinese people, not the foreigners. Foreigners are very different. Like, oh, Amber, how trendy you look. I love it. It's so great. But how do you wash that? Do you wash that? Being black in China, how do you wash that? Or when I had the braids, the funniest story, I had a woman that took my hair. She's like, 1、2、3、4、5、6、7，counting every single one of my hair strands, and I'm just standing there like, holy crap. First, she has her fingers in my hair. Second, she's counting my hair. And I was really kind of confused about that. Oreo came to say hi. Hi. Okay. So, I was really confused about that. So I'm like, okay. But I was treated a lot nicer. Maybe it could be confidence too, because I was losing my weight and it was changing my hairstyle. But I noticed with the braids, I was treated a lot nicer. Now, this was just longer, straighter braids. Then I changed to like a more curlier braid style. And it was big. And Chinese people don't like big hair. They don't like anything big. So I actually thought I preferred big. I prefer maybe hair with a little bit more body. So I had these braids and they were different colors. That's when I had people say to me, hey Gui. Hey Gui means, my pronunciation is terrible. Hai Gui, sorry, means black monster. So I was called Black Monster when I had those braids. And people were always talking, the Chinese people, and I know because I have friends that speak Chinese, and they are talking on the subway like, is that fake? Is that her real hair? How does she wash it? Blah, 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 blah. Because that's what they do here. They just blah, 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 talk about everything, about how you look. If you hang your clothes up too long outside, they have a problem with everything. That's just China, and it's something to get used to. Okay, Then I went and I got I wrote a blog. I got my Brazilian keratin treatment. As you can see, actually my natural texture, the frizzy texture is coming back, and I'm fine with that. Just a little because it gives it more body, because I don't like totally pin straight hair. So I actually like it like this. See, it has a lot of body and stuff. Now when I got this hair, big difference from changing this hairstyle. It looks more like their hair. So I got tons of compliments. I am still getting compliments from people that are Chinese. I'm getting more compliments from people, the foreigners as well, with my hair. I actually prefer my hair straighter. I didn't know until I got it straight and I saw myself with straight hair and I saw my features. I just think it brings out my eyes more than the natural hair. I don't think the natural hair really worked just with my personality type, but I really do kind of like this hair type. Now, I don't know if that may affect what I was telling you about the social experiment, but things that I have noticed more men, like especially Chinese men, have been, more interested in me, even though we don't speak the same language. I've gotten more stares, like not like, whoa, you just got out of the zoo stares, like, hey, baby stares. Like, this one guy was really staring at me and smiling at me and flirting with me on the subway. So it was twice. It was on the subway in Shanghai, and then there was one, he was coming out of the subway when I was going to, I was in Hangzhou. So there's definitely has been what I've noticed. People from where I was before to now, people are much nicer to you, and this is in China, and I'm sure it's in many other places as well, on how you look. So if you look, the better you look, the nicer people will be to you. So if you look anywhere outside the social norm, people will not be as accepting. So if you want to come to China or an Asian country, you have to think about that. And you would really have to think about that. If you don't want to be judged for your appearance, then I would suggest maybe going to another, like a more Western type country. If you want to teach abroad, more, I think even the Philippines is like probably a lot better, or other Asian countries, but not like China, Japan, and Korea. Probably not the East Asian, maybe like Vietnam or other places like that. They would be like maybe a little bit more open. But this is just my experience, part of my social experiment. This is an ongoing social experiment. And I'm going to tell you, as I'm losing weight, people are a lot nicer to me here in China. And as I said, it's a very superficial country. I also know South Korea is an extremely superficial country. So if you want to come over here, I would really suggest losing some weight first, changing your lifestyle. If you want to come over here natural, you can get this done. My hair is still natural. It's still natural. There is no chemicals in it. And I've told people before, keratin is not a chemical. It's a protein. And my hair is still natural. You can see the texture. See right there? There's my natural texture coming through. Okay, it does loosen your curl pattern. It makes it more manageable. I would suggest that. Some people wear wigs. There's a lot of things. But you can also say, all right, I don't care what people think about me. I'm going to blah, blah. And that's great. I suggest that you move to a bigger city like Shanghai, Beijing, if you really want to stay natural, because then they consider it eclectic. But if you're moving to a smaller city like Hangzhou, Wuxi, Suzhou, Nanchang, don't go there. I would suggest that you have to alter your appearance a little bit for the workplace as well, because the parents are very, 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 very did not like my natural hair, honestly. And I had complaints about my natural hair. So this is a job thing too. So it's just something you have to kind of consider. And I'm being honest with my blog. I'm sorry if some people with natural hair will get very upset about it, but you know, you have to figure China is like 20 years behind the US. So it's like I'm kind of living in the 80s. So everything that there's no PC. There's no such thing as PC, politically correct here. There is no PC. That's just how it is. And when you move to a new area, you really have to, this is in my country, this is their country, so yes, you do have to alter yourself a bit when you're moving into another country. And when it's a professional thing with your job, then you do have to make changes. So I'm just telling people with a different, like the curl pattern like I had, you may run into a problem with your school if you decide to come and teach over here. So this is just something to think of as well. So social experiments so far, what they like in China, straight hair, slim body like theirs. Now, black skin, they don't really like as much, honestly. But what I'm seeing, black skin and attractive and thin with straight hair is more acceptable. So just coming over here, you just have to realize, yeah, it's really screwed up. It's really screwed up their system. I don't appreciate it that much. But when you're working in their company and you get a lot of complaints due to your appearance, you could either go and get another job or, you know, just switch your appearance. Or if you want to move up and try to find another job, you still have to conform. As I said, this is like 1980s, and this is how it was in the 1980s. It's totally different. So I'm just being 100% honest. And I know some people are not going to take this very well. They're like, well, I'm not going to conform and change to anyone, blah, 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 blah. But you don't know the situation until you live in the situation. So if you're a person that can't conform or change a little bit or alter yourself by living in another country, alter your norms, then maybe living abroad is not for you. So I'm just being honest here. But with my social experiment, it's screwed up, it's messed up, but that's how it is here. And you know that I keep all of my blogs honest. I'm very honest about everything that I state on every blog. I don't give you like a fairy tale like, this is China, it's so nice. I give you the good parts and the bad parts. So this is just ending my social commentary, and I'll blog a little bit more about it, and I'll keep on blogging as I'm losing weight. And that's another blog, Weight Loss in China. I didn't talk to you guys about that either. So, and this is how I look right now. I'm not going to stand up. I'll just show you. Can you see? So that's my weight right now. All right. So, Sai Jian, and thank you so much for supporting my blog and reading my blog. And it really means a lot to me. And I'm going to try to do more videos. All right. Bye. As in China, they say bye-bye.